Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back, my students, to this new video. Today we're going to continue talking about displaying data. This is going to be part number 3, and this is going to be also the last part of displaying data. And with this topic, we're going to finish the unit of collecting and organizing data. All right, today we're going to learn how to display data using the pie chart. So what is a pie chart? We're going to know what is a pie chart in soon. But first, let's have the same example as the previous one, which was talking about the student's favorite subject. In the last video, we've talked about we gave an example about collecting data of the students, okay, to see or to show their favorite subjects, right? Favorite subjects. Let me just draw the frequency table of that example. So this was the frequency table for the data of students, those favorites, some subjects. The subjects were sport, science, math, art, and languages. And these were the numbers of students favoriting the corresponding subjects. So today we're going to display this data using the pie chart. So what is the pie chart? The pie chart is like a pie, you know the pie, okay? It's like a circle which have sections or slides in it, okay? So, okay, forget about this. Just I wanted to show you what is the pie chart. But first, before we continue or we start drawing the pie chart, we need to represent these numbers as fractions. How to do that? If you still remember the fractions that we've studied in grade 6, how to represent a number as a fraction. Fraction means a part of something, right? So, for example, the sport, how many students preferred or was having the favorite, how many students preferred the sport as a subject? For example, 40 students. 40 students out of how many students? What is the total number of students? It was 120, right? So first of all, I need to represent the numbers of students as fractions. So I'm going to say for sport, 40 students preferred sport out of 120 students, the total number of students. So I'm going to put this fraction as in its simplest form. If you remember this, we already studied this in grade 6. So the simplest form for 40 over or out of 120 is what? 1 out of 3. Okay, how did we find or come up with this answer? Just divide the numerator and denominator by 40. 40 divided by 40 is 1. 120 divided by 40 is 3. Okay, for science, how many students? 20 over 120. And in its simplest form, this is 1 over 6. What about maths? Math is 30 students preferred math out of 100 students. And this would give me the fraction 1 over 4, right, of the total. So what about art? Now both art and languages has the same number of students, 15 and 15, so 15 over 120. This is 1/8. Language is the same. 15 over 120, 1/8. Okay, so I represented the numbers or frequencies as fractions. This is very important to proceed to the pie chart. Okay, so to draw the pie chart, actually it's preferred to use a protractor, but this is going to be more harder, but you can do it without using the protractor, but you need to understand the fractions. Okay, this would help you understanding the pie chart and also drawing the pie chart. For example, let me just show you in the book, because with the pie chart we need a colorful pie chart to represent the sections. So just let me show you this in the book. You can open your book, page 46. Here we have the pie chart. Okay, and by the way, for the pie chart, it has a heading and a key. Where is the heading? This is the heading. The heading means the title of the pie chart. So we named this, or we labeled this as favorite subject. What was the subject? What were the subjects? There were sport, science, maths, art, and languages, right? So we represent these subjects with colors. So for sport we have yellow color, for science blue color, for maths orange, for art green, and pink for languages. And also we have something called the key. This is very important to make your pie chart meaningful and readable for the users. So you're going to make a key here. Okay, this key would show the colors and the subjects. Okay, and as you notice, the pie chart has slices or sections. This one section or one slice. In this pie chart we have 5 slices, right? So each slice is clearly labeled with the names, for example, sports, science, maths, art, and languages. And the size of each slice represents the frequency. For example, that's why we already represented the frequencies in terms of fractions, right? For example, here, sorry, you don't see this. For example, for sport, we had 1/3 of the total, right? So 1/3 is going to be represented in its slice. This is 1/3 of the whole circle. Okay, what about the science? Science was 1/6, right? 1/6, this section or this slice, this slice represent 1/3 of the students who preferred science. Okay, what about the math? Math had 1/4 of the total. Okay, and 1/4, you know, the quarter, right? This, and if you look at the if you looked at the pie chart, you are going to see or observe this. For the math, it was quarter, right? Quarter of the circle. Okay, what about art and languages? Each of them had 1/8, okay, of the total. So both of them represent a quarter of the whole circle or the whole pie chart. So now we can also observe that sport and science, okay, represents half of the pie chart, which means half of the number of students. So how many students were the survey conducted to? We had, from the, if you look at the frequency table, we had 120 students, right? How much is half of 120? It's 60, right? So for sport and science, 40 and 20, this represent half. 30 students which means half of the number of students. That's why the pie chart shows here sport and science represented half of the circle, which means half of the students, and the other maths, art, languages represented the other half of the pie chart. Okay. This is all for a pie chart. So to recap, we studied how to display the number, how to display our data that we are already collected. We used the pictogram, we used the bar graph. Now today we use the pie chart. So you can use one of them to represent data according to the type of data and the audience that you want to display your data to. Okay, that's all for today. Your homework is going to be what? I don't remember the homework I gave you yesterday, but today just I want you to do number 7. Okay, page 48, number 7. Okay, thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video. Be safe and take care. Assalamu alaikum.